frags just yet, but Shock finds Crew, and the Earthshatter comes in. It's massive! Paragon showing us it's his turf. White's now
and the pulse pop from Trev ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to pick up. Oh goodness, here comes the Blizzard. Gonna look to get the attack.
And then the sleep though, and the nade in, and they don't even need a single ult here to win it other than Shatter. And Kavat taking out Sosher there from a mile away.
The upgrade taking out Big Rose. That's the long one. Oh, but
Paragon with another Shatter! That's three
Shatters! In the background. This may be possible. It could be. It really could be the boom. Oh, still here.
Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup. Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match at
Hello everybody, welcome to the Rose Cup on this lovely Friday evening. Hopefully you had a great week and looking forward to the weekend. We have a great match here alongside Juice Goblins and Project Ascension. Two really high-stake teams. I'll be your play-by-play Claster Booney. Alongside me is Megalad. Now Megalad, what do you expect out of the compositions here? Because we are on the new patch, so do you expect to see some more double barrier, or are you swapping it up a little bit?
I mean, it really depends on what the teams want to run. We are still very new into this patch. Just came out on Tuesday, and here we are on. So maybe teams will try to stick with that tried and true if they've been running the double barrier. However, down here in the Platinum Division, you can kind of get away with off-meta stuff even during the peaks of meta. You know, if you have a phenomenal Tracer player or something like that, you can run it anyway and things like that. So I think it comes down to just the hero pools behind these teams.
We have been seeing a lot of a big increase in Ryan Zarya actually kind of on the ladder, both in the high and the lower elos. Maybe we'll be seeing some of that with that Lucio speed boost patch, really helping out the Reinhardt get into that backline, get behind those barriers and get some damage in. We do start here on Nepal. Now, a control map, you might be seeing some double barrier, maybe nothing too extreme here.
Yeah, this isn't really where you want to change it up because Nepal, pretty standard. This is one of those maps that if you have a Pharah player, you can run it if you want. Such high ceilings, high skyboxes for you to take advantage of. The only question then becomes, if you're running the Pharah, do you counter it with your own Pharah? Or on the other side, do you try to swap to one of those hit skin heroes, the McCree, the Widowmaker, to counter it yourself?
Indeed, we'll see the teams run out here on in 6 seconds, see if we've seen anything new. Hopefully we do. Personally, I'm getting a little sick of double barrier myself, but hey, I'm not a developer. It does appear we're getting some new stuff out here. Hopefully, Project Ascension sticks with this composition, the Super Monkey Ball composition, as some people like to call it, with the Sombra and Tracer. The Tracer did get that recent buff where her damage falls off at 13 meters rather than 10. We'll see if they can take advantage of that. And it does look like we might be getting some standard double barrier with the Tracer May on the side of Juice Goblinos.
As you say, Tracer, though, they are switching it up. Finally going to land on the McCree. Let's see if that sticks. Considering the dive that's coming out on the other side, this could be potentially some research done by the Juice Goblins, being aware, okay, there's a lot of dive coming in on the other side. The Sombra coming around on this side. It's just interesting to see.
Setting up on the farward stairs, looking for a dive target, trying to get his way in. However, Sage does get rocked. The Accretion finding its mark, and the Sombra kind of just ran around the back line. Matt not spiking that health pack, but it does look like Juice Goblino is just going to sit themselves on this point and take it for free. We do got some composition switches coming out from the side of Project Ascension. No deaths there. Kind of just some running around and or some composition switches.
Yeah, it was just kind of a scout, and instead of sending Sombra in, you sent the whole team in because you don't have that nice little easy spawn room switcheroo.
And coming to the right side, this little flank here, interesting, but the Maywall comes through, doesn't lock anybody off. Clam a little early on that one. The Maywall comes through for side of Matnot. Keeps their team safe. However, Matnot falls to the Sigma damage. The Accretion goes through, not finding its target. However, forcing a split. Hedix is frozen, but kept up by Mad. See how Adel does find the kill onto Hedix. That's Larissa gone. Sage does find. We got some comeback here for Project Ascension. The Mad decide now's the time to put that Coalescence. They're going to move to the point here. Jaddo's just a little bit behind that alternate ability. The Accretion goes through from Sage, doesn't find a target. The follow Coalescence, the later Coalescence is always better. However, Preve does take down Clam. And Project Ascension does take Matt not finding the kill. And Project Ascension, even though they lost 2 to begin that fight, do win this fight out.
Yes, indeed. I think that was just they were able to play it passive and play it cool. And that gave them the advantage there. Obviously, the composition switches do help because the McCree on the other side just can't output in pressure the same way the Reaper can. So, interestingly enough, we're going to see the continued use of the McCree from Krev, possibly holding out for Deadeye, but this approach is going to be kind of weird.
And Goblinos coming in with a bunch of ultimate side and pop the supercharger a little early. The wall comes through from Clam. An interesting use. The supercharger has no effect when they leave there. We got Krev using that high noon. Does he get anybody? Falls off, gets sucked off by Hedix. A nice play there. We do have the Reaper in the backline trying to get some damage. Gets out. Sage using that Sigma ultimate ability. Doesn't have damage. Another stuck comes through from Hedix. I'm like, oh no. We do have the Lucio boop though. Lizard comes through from Clam. Clam finds a headshot to Hedix. It's a very back and forth fight here. Cole Lizard's coming through. Keep Sage up. Accretion comes through. They stun Clam up. The sound barrier comes through from Jupiter. They're pushing in here. It's a very even find the point. Sage finds a kill on the Moira. That's a lot of healing gone for the side of Juice Goblinos. Clam finds a kill onto the Moira after a nice freeze. Krev headshot onto Sage. The Sigma is down, and it looks like Juice Goblinos might finally take this point back. However, if the Reaper Saints about does get taken out by Krev, but I think they're going to hold this point with that Arisa coming back. Krev trying to put the team on their back right now. Gets sucked off again. This person really enjoys the pit down there. We do have the Moira trying to take down that Arisa. The support of combat is taking place on the point. A bunch of Moira is just trying to bite a grass to death. The suck comes through, and Mad gets the kill onto Agent Muffin, and they come to reset. Juice Blue is wasting a lot of time with that fight. It really prolonged this last fight territory.
Yeah, I mean, there was just, as you said, it was just back and forth the whole time. No real advantage gained for either side, and that favors whoever's holding the point. And now we're in this last fight, and you're going to have to commit. Interesting that we still have this McCree in play, although I don't see the impact in the kill feed.
Dime pulling out that Sigma ultimate. Hedix just fortifies out of it. The beat comes through. The Blizzard as well. Hedix does get the kill to Krev again. Krev does not be able to stay on the point, and it looks like Project Ascension, with some nice plays coming out from the Arisa. Hedix, nice sucks onto the McCree, is going to take this point back using Supercharger to clean this stuff up. And it's 156 for side Project Ascension. A solid play.
Yeah, and as you pointed out there, Hedix just did not allow Krev to do any work. Once Krev finally started doing work, he's just like, hey, here's a nice little cliff for you to fall into, but no movement abilities of any kind for McCree to get out. But now we're on the Shrine. We're finally outdoors. This could be a chance for people to switch things up. Be like, all right, just shake it off. And I'm down for Ryan Winston. We're not going to see it probably. There will be some switches, but I'm down for it.
I am as well. We'll see what Craig decides to actually play here. This map can't get sucked off, so can't get halted off there. So maybe he's got a little more in the tank to show off here. It does look like the teams are sticking with this Ryan Winston play coming out. Interesting composition. 2 main tanks coming through. See how it works out. Clam on that Reaper. See if he can out-duel Previe. The teams colliding here on the point. The cleave damage coming through from the Winstons. Both levels committed. Nothing really happening. Both teams kind of just taking their spot on the point. Not wanting to make that crucial mistake. However, Hedix does take down Agent Muffin. The Lucio gone. All that speed boost gone for the Reinhardt. Kind of a sitting duck now for the Reaper to jump in. There he goes. Takes down Andal. And it looks like it's going to be a quick reset coming through from Juice Goblinos unless they find a crucial pick here. Krev is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Clam does find one revenge kill onto Hedix, but just has to get out. But it looks like they're not going to get out with that Maywall. They are stuck, trying to TP away. Clam does manage to get away for now. Might stay alive, but a solid engagement coming through from Project Ascension.
So this tank line matchup is interesting because the Ryan Winston, it allows one of these two to play in an aggressive way you don't normally see. Like, for example, the Reinhardt is able to just go in as they're going right now.
Pushing it, he does go a little too aggressive though. Gets taken down by that Reaper. The cleave damage too strong. The charge comes through, doesn't find anything but the wall blocked by his spawn there without their Reinhardt. Project Ascension, that is. But they don't have the Winston on the side of Juice Goblinos. The Primal Rage committed by Sage. See if he can get some nice juggles here. Mad finds the kill onto Clam with the Moira Orb, and they're just going to run back to spawn, trying to feed any more ultimate charge.
Yes, indeed. And now we're possibly going to see like a high ground charge. No, they're just coming right back into mid as a full 6 once again. Coming
right down main. The charge comes through. Finds Hedix. Gets up against that wall. The Blizzard is committed from Matnot. Gets the 2 ultimates used to kill 1 Reinhardt. Might be want some of those back. Clam finding Matnot with his Reaper ult. Trading back and forth. Brief gets the kill on the Clam. And it's a back and forth fight here. Nobody really taking a point. The Primal Rage committed by Dime. Trying to juggle the team around Goose Goblinos taking advantage here with Krev taking down Mad. Pulse Bomb come in, finds nothing. Sage takes on the counterpart Deltron. A nice shatter comes through from Andal. Finds that take line, and they're finally going to clean this fight up. Juice Goblinos investing the ultimates, but taking the point back at 72%.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you got to be looking at this, though, be like, all right, coming into this next fight, we're going to have Shatter for the side of Project Ascension. We're going to... Only thing they got to worry about on the other side, whether they know it or not, is that beat drop. And you're coming up on your other tank ultimate. You pretty much have everything coming up online except for Blizzard, so this should be a fight you can easily retake as long as you don't get outplayed in the mid-fight.
The beat is used to engage. From Jupiter, the shatter comes through. It's a nice one. Finds that Tracer. And it's a quick cleanup. 4 quick kills coming through from Project Ascension. Sage tickling everybody to death with that Winston cannon. And it looks like it's going to be another quick swap. This might be last fight territory coming through with no ultimates to use on the side of Juice Goblinos. They're pushing into an almost Blizzard and a Primal Rage. This could look rough for them unless they build something quick.
I mean, the pulse bomb is going to definitely be built at the very least. That's big potential right there. Andal should be able
The
to
charge
get
comes
Shatter on
through.
Jeez.
Counter charge. Headache falls. The pulse bomb is committed by Krev. That's 2 kills, and they use that Blizzard. Oh no! Prevy gets the kill on Andal. Pushing in with the Coalescence is Juice Goblinos trying to take this fight back, trying to take this point back and not fall. Krev finds Mad with a nice melee attack. They're moving in. Jazz might need some healing though before they fall. Pushing in, Clam finds his counterpart in the preview, and they're gonna take this point back at the final hour, the 12th hour. They're pushing in. A charge comes through. It gets the kill on the Krev. Blinks into the charge, but it's just not enough for Headaches falling to Clam, and another quick take.
And now it seems all the marbles have shifted into the power of Juice Goblins. They've got the ultimates online and the point presence. However, they still got a long way to go. Still 50% more to tick up, and that's just to get to 99. So right now, if you're Project Ascension, you don't got to worry. You got some eco pushes. You're looking for that 99-99 fight, probably.
Sage decided to switch off the Winston onto the Sigma. A little more barrier presence and damage on the point. See how it works out. Pushing in. Both Moira's close there. Coalesces. A nice shatter comes through from Andal, taking on the entire Project Ascension lineup. And Clam capitalize on that with a Death Blossom. And this looks like it's going to be a team fight unless they cannot clean this up cleanly. Pre-takes on Andal, but Clam with a double kill. And that's a nice shatter coming through from Andal, even with the double barrier.
Okay. Yeah, definitely once. And that's also what you want because you're not getting a whole bunch for the side of the defense here. So Juice Goblins still have 4 as we are approaching this last fight territory. And it's literally a 4v4. Both supports, a DPS and a tank ultimate online. This shatter's pretty much got to be big. Ooh,
Yeah,
that could have been big.
The bubble is committed. Headaches is low. Has to back up a little bit. The shatter comes through. It's a huge shatter. However, the beat does counteract it. Nobody dies. Andal finds the Reaper. Prevy is down. That's a lot of damage gone. The Blizzard being committed by Matnot. Is it going to get anybody? Freezes the Reinhardt. Andal is down. The Reaper uses the Wraith. Gets accretioned by Sage. Dime using that primary trying to stay alive. Sage building up that Sigma ultimate ability. There's no beat to counteract it. Finds the kill on the Dimetron. They are moving in. Could this be the fight that the Project Ascension needed? Sage finding 2 and previous side pop Q. Gets the kill on an Agent Muffin. No more point contest there, and Andal can't touch the point, and at the 11th hour, Project Ascension takes the point back and wins the match.
They normally say he who laughs loudest, but I think in this case it was he who pressed Q last got the better advantage of it. Able to hold out, like I said, in that 99-99 fight. Project Ascension got the key pickoffs they needed. It was still a huge beat committed from Agent Muffin to live that shatter, but in the end, it just was not enough. And round 1 to Project Ascension.
Yeah, and without that beat, they weren't able to survive through stages. Gravitic Flux. So, well played on the side of Project Ascension, staring out those ultimates just enough to keep the teams alive. The GPS lineup of Juice Goblins, or Juice Goblinos, was putting in some work on that second map between Clam and Krev, but just wasn't enough in the end. See map we go to next.
Yes, indeed. It is going to be Assault, and it's interesting to look at the maps that we have available for these teams. I believe it's Temple of Anubis and Volskaya, if I'm not mistaken. Yeet, indeed, yeet. Okay. And it is actually Volskaya we're going to go to, which Volskaya we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of You know, we have a lot of Anubis being played just because teams are more familiar, but Volskaya allows for some interesting flanks, some Symmetra.
Perhaps with see
Okay.
if we can see a Symmetra play coming through, or we have some really strong Reaper play from Previ and Clam. So be interesting to see if they can get a nice flank around that edge, like you were saying, with where the Symmetra would go. And we will go ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely. So it'll be interesting to see, but also we've already seen that these teams are willing to do whatever they think is right because we saw Ryan Winston there. That's something you don't always see two main tanks, but it could allow aggression. It'll be interesting the defense hold. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like an old school Orisa Hog deal, just try to go for picks. But I mean, this is also Juice Goblin's map choice because they did lose the first round, so maybe they have some special strategies prepared. Maybe they have some sneaky DPS plays.
All right. We will see what the team decided to run out on. We're entering our Volskaya Industries map.
You know that the one of the fun little fact about this map is one of the robots way in the background near point A actually does the robot from time to time.
I did not know that. You learn something new every day.
It's a nice little Easter egg. You know, they can code that in, but not a balanced game that can deal with double barrier. Figure that one.
Unlucky.
Unlucky. It's fine. We're all salty about double barrier, but maybe double barrier isn't the way. You know, we have a new adaptation of it that we've seen. We've seen the Rhine Sigma, Winston maybe being able to play.
Sigma, yeah. I mean, when you look at it, there's more ways to play now. Because it used to be if you didn't play double barrier, you're basically lost. But now, as we saw in that last map, they were running that Ryan Winston composition, very interesting. And we have Project Ascension coming on their defense with the May Reaper double barrier combination we've seen with Moira Lucio. And I'm not going to make any calls on Juice Goblins comp yet because it might just be playing around spawn. But I would not be surprised they actually ran out on this and TP that Bastion on a nice flank.
Well, yeah, you can essentially the point of this comp, you TP them way on this left side. It allows you to gain this high ground purge over point A, and anybody who rotates into your sight line just perishes because you're a Bastion. But pretty much the standard, as you said here for the defense. Reaper, May, nothing too crazy. The double barrier comps are alive and well here as we get started.
Coming out, we'll see who the Symmetra decides to throw down that TP where Clam wants to put their team into position. Moving out here into that first choke. Holding a little back as Project Ascension, perhaps expecting this TP strat. They go up on that high ground, right on top. They get the bat piece up there, keep the team alive. The turrets are going down onto the point. A Sut comes through, or a Hulk comes through from Hedex and doesn't find anything. However, they drop out the high ground that is, Jedis losing out on that immortality field. However, Diamondtron takes down the Reaper. Crab, and they're just going to push through here. Just pure attrition on the point, just out-damaging Project Ascension. Is the Juice Goblinos, and it's going to be a quick point A take.
I feel like the game plan there for the side of Project Ascension was, we know the Bastion's coming in because they had the Lucio scout from Juptian. So they were like, okay, we see the Bastion, we're just going to send Reaper in to deal with him. And then when Previ died, it was just kind of like, what now?
They're holding in that left corner, Project Ascension. See where they decide to TP on this. They go right behind them, up on that high ground. Everybody is up there. No, the Hulk does nothing. Sage trying to eat some of that damage with the left shift. The immortality field does go down for Jadis. They do use that back window. However, the Bastion does fall Krebs down already, and a bunch of ults being committed on both sides. But it does look like Project Ascension on that defense is finally going to stabilize. And Hedex with the headshot. This is going to be the end of that fight. A lot of ults committed on both sides, but Project Ascension will definitely take it to not get steamrolled.
Yes, indeed. There's still a colossal time bank, though, so nothing to worry about if you're Juice Goblins yet. Interestingly enough, they're sticking on this composition. It's not one and done for them, although, as I say that, Ondil does switch over to the Reinhardt. Possibly allow some more TP shenanigans to go through, as they're all hovering around spawn, so there might be another switch or two.
Does look like there are a few swaps coming through. Flame swaps off that Symmetra onto the Reaper, Jadis onto the May, or Jadis onto the Lucio, and Krev onto that May. Pretty standard here, except for the Reinhardt. And they're swapping to a Pharah Reaper, Pharah May.
We've spent 40
Reaper
seconds
May.
switching compositions, so maybe, I mean, if you're on the defense here, Project Ascension, you'll take this. You're like, okay, we get free time off the clock when that's something you desperately need after point A. As are going to push in here now.
That's a free about 45 seconds. The Maywall comes through from Matnot. Doesn't find anybody. Supercharger put down by Headaches. Trying to get the damage in there. Can they win this fight cleanly with just that? No, they've decided to invest the Blizzard. However, it might catch a few people from Juice Goblinos out. Sage killing Krev. Sage killing Clam. Sage taking this first fight for himself. Mad joining in with the Moira Orb. And that was a very clean fight, investing only the Supercharger and the Blizzard. Nobody died on their side for Project Ascension. And they kept hold of that Sage Sigma ultimate ability.
Yeah, I mean, it was just very clean-cut fight. Blizzard got committed. Supercharger as well from Headaches, and then that was the end of the fight. So if they can keep this rotation going with their ultimates here for Project Ascension, they can easily stall this out to just 1 point here on Volskaya. But now we have the reapproach again, just coming straight down mid.
The big advantage for Ascension here is they do have that beat to counteract Dime's ultimate ability. However, Jazz does not have it on their side. See which Sigma decides to invest first. We go in. It's Sage using theirs first. The slam comes through. However, no kills are found out of that. Jupiter does find Andal, that Reinhardt gone, that main tank gone. The Maywall comes through from both sides. Nobody really falling. Some little bit of M1ing going on between the maze there. One does get frozen. However, Clam falls and Prevy does get killed by Krev, but Project Ascension again investing only 2 ultimates and winning the fight outright, keeping hold of both the support ults.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the one upside here for the Juice Goblins is you didn't commit anything because you knew that you're going to have to eco pushes. You pretty much switched your whole team around, so you had to build up those ultimates, and now you finally have them, though. You're approaching that full 6, and this is where you can make your mark on the match. This is where you can steamroll this point. However, as you said, oh my god, the fight already started.
There we go, the Coalescence comes through, does get shattered right out of it. That Coalescence worthless now. Dime taking down Matnot as May is gone. No more freezing shenanigans happen. Agent Muffin using their Coalescence of their own. Krev finds Privy, and finally Juice Goblinos look like they're finally going to break this bunker that was holding on this point so strongly. Jupiter coming in for a last second contest. The beat coming through. Is he going to get it before he dies? He does, right on the side of the wall. But only gets themselves and just has to back off before they die. The Wrecking Ball coming through the stud. Oh, gets walled off, actually, from Clam. And Krev clean up in the back line from that Maywall. The Blizzard invested. And Juice Goblinos look like they're finally going to take this. But after such a quick point A take, you're kind of disappointed, to be honest, if you're the side of Juice Goblinos, only having less than 2 minutes left in the time bank.
Right now, if I were personally the side of Juice Goblinos, I would be actually shaking the hand of Krev. The Blizzard gets chucked in from Project Ascension after there was a full team regroup coming in. But before the Blizzard can leave the Maze hand, Krev is able to shut it down. Because I fully believe that Blizzard could have flipped the point back. They used the beat in order to give themselves the time to get everybody back out of spawn. But it's just clutch DPS plays. That seems to be where it's at right now.
And of course, you're talking about how we've seen Krev in basically almost every game. It seems like, whatever team's playing, it seems like Krev is part of their roster. So maybe just a flex god on all these teams. We'll see. But he did put on a really good show there. Their May was spectacular. Outdoing Matnot quite a bit on the attack. We'll see what Juice Goblinos tried to pull out on their defense. Same as their attack round with the Bastion Symmetra strat.
Yes, indeed. And on the other side, it'd be interesting if they left spawn on this, just because the only variant being the Ana instead of the Mercy, even though, as I say, it switches, so it's a full mirror 6. Could be an interesting attempt at a point A hold here for Juice Goblins, and this could also be an interesting, we saw you do it, so we're going to see if we can do it for the side of Project Ascension. So still just depends if they leave spawn.
It'll be interesting to see if they try to go to the same spot on that high ground right in the middle. But they get the positional advantage does, in my opinion, Juice Goblinos, because if they do TP up there, they're kind of stuck there with them in the back. We'll see where they decide to actually go. Pushing right down main. They don't see anybody. It looks like they might be going around the far side. A little bit of scouting from the tank line.
They're going around this far side, but the interesting part about Juice Goblin setup here is they have the TP setup so they can just go back.
Oh, the suck comes through! Andal gets a nice halt on the Preview, takes them right off the point. That's a lot of damage gone in this composition. They can't really push in here. Unless they're deciding to press that W key. The TP comes through from Clam. You can't really push onto that down there Bastion already. You're just going to see how they can get them back. Preview just not expecting that halt off the edge of there. Nice play from Andal.
Yes, indeed. Now, unfortunately, they're waiting for their Bastion. They might have to reset up Teleporter for him just to get back. And like I was saying, this TP setup just allows the defense to switch from high ground to high ground until, of course, it seems the attackers are going to rotate up here. So Project Ascension's going to have the advantage.
No halt trickery this time coming through from Andal. Both just staring each other down. Immortality Field is invested from Project Ascension. And Andal takes down Hedix. This might be already a lost fight. A res comes through from Jupiton onto Hedix. Playing around this corner, not really pushing that point all that much. Allowing Kreb to set right back up with another Orisa barrier. Now, I think they might want to try to go a different route here. They look like they're kind of stuck in this room.
Yeah, I mean, at this point right now, I would take advantage of your teleporter, possibly try to leave the building, rotate onto that middle high ground where it's a harder sight line, or potentially just rotate way around, but they're dedicating square.
Pushing out with the BAP window. A huge eat comes through from Diamondtron. However, Krev falls, and they might not be able to res that in that position. They might be down their Bastion on this defense. It might finally break, but the res does come through. A 6v6. Clam using that sim wall, keeping their team alive. Matnot does find Clam, though. And both teams trading right back and forth here. The res is used for Project Ascension. But Krev, with the help of Andal's Supercharger, finds 2. And another halt from Andal off the side of the map. Krev gets 4. You're saying you gotta shake Krev's hand. I think that's another position where you gotta shake his hand.
Potentially. I mean, also just the ultimates that were used there, you only use 3 if you're the defense. Possibly either... Actually, you might have used 4. I don't really know. The Gravitic Flux could have been used there, but there's already almost a minute left on the clock for the attackers for pretty much one fight.
But they will have a lot of elements to work with. Does Project Ascension. They'll have that Sigma ultimate, which is great for busting up bunkers. See how they decide to use it. The TP goes up on the left side this time. Changing that position up is Juice Goblinos. Holding up on that point. The BAP window invested. Krev's got a nice shooting gallery to look at. Sim wall invested from Matnot. Keeps their team safe as they push onto this point here from the BAP window. Immortality Field forced early out of Mad. Might be disadvantage here. However, got Krev on the flank now with the Sim TP. Endel falls. But they might get a res from Ancient Muffin. Goes through. The res is gone, but still 6v6 fight. Krev trying to shoot them in the air. The Valkyrie Mercy. Krev finds Matnot. The BAP wall is invested. Are you finding Krev? The Resurrect is down. Diamondtron maybe a bit late there on the Sigma ultimate. With their team already down 4. Might want that one back for the defense. As they're going to push in with 3 ultimates here. Maybe a quick take for Project Ascension.
I mean, it was just interesting. Finally, the positioning just seemed to work out where Krev didn't have enough shields. And once that Bastion goes down on one side, the barriers exist for way too long for anyone to do anything. And now it seems like they're going to try to just steamroll with ultimates here for the attacker, although I don't know if they have enough to really steamroll because there's going to be a sim wall waiting on the other side.
Oh, it is 3 on none in terms of ultimates, and that Supercharger can win a fight by itself sometimes. But Krev's on the flank. Nobody seems to notice them. Krev taking down Matnot. Oh, but my goodness, here comes a really quick take from the looks of it. Investing that Supercharger, but they still have 2 ultimates, but they're up by 4 already. And that's good. They got a better time bank.
I mean, I 100% will take the L on that. I thought the sim wall would come up a lot sooner. Unfortunately, it did not. There was just, like, Krev went on the flank, and no one paid attention to it because the rest of the team was dying on the high ground. So now we're looking at a better time bank here for the side of Project Ascension, which you'll definitely take after almost being held to overtime on point A.
Almost
So,
definitely.
do you think they're going to try to go for this quick attack again here for the side of Jews Goblinos, or is it possibly they might try to switch it up, try to go for like a dive pick composition?
Well, the problem is they now know that you like to run this Bastion composition, so they might be just mirroring it themselves in the defense. And I'd say if you don't really have the Bastion on the attack on Volskaya defense, or Volskaya attack when they have their own Bastion, you're kind of out of luck pushing into that with default double barrier. And it does look like Project Ascension is going to do the Bastion strat unless they swap and spawn, kind of hanging out back there. But they are finally moving out. But they got the Ana instead of the Mercy. The resurrectability is gone. They're trying to get some anti-nades, but the double barrier makes that extremely difficult. We'll see if this works out for them. An interesting swap.
You could also play for nano boost, things like that. It could turn a fight in and of itself. Valkyrie still has that fight turning potential, but isn't the most impactful sometimes. Those heals just not fast enough sometimes. But I wonder what the attack strat's going to be. Are we going to go straight back up the mid here? And it looks like that's the plan.
Looks like Juice Goblinos are pushing up mid, but they're not investing in TP quite yet. There goes down the TP. And they zoom just right to the point, hiding right around that wall. The barrier goes down for Andal, but it's already gone. Krev is Maywalled up. A nice one from Matnot. Solo, or keep making that Bastion go off by themselves. The res comes through from Agent Muffin. Immortality Field used around the corner. They can't kill it. A halt comes through from Hedex. Nothing found of value. Oh, another. Oh my goodness gracious. We were questioning the Ana pick, but comes up with 2 nice kills on the defense. That's going to be a quick reset. They only got a minute left. One fight. No ultimate's really built for them. Krev having to swap on the Tracer.
Yeah, now it seems like the team's just kind of switching to comfort pick, seeing where it gets them. They do have Baptiste square. I think they're going to try to hang on to that, even though his composition is a little bit harder to run with the Baptiste. Pretty much he's going to have to be playing with Reinhardt, and at the same time, there's no one really to shoot through the square. So I wonder if it's worth sticking with the ult, but hey, you're here now, you're committed, you have to go up mid.
I think at that point, I think they're probably just going for the Immortality Field on point. Dime just has to touch for the last second. Oh, a nice accretion right out of the TP on the Clam. Instantly melted. A halt comes through. The Immortality Field comes down, but Hedex tries to kill a Dimetron. And an Anti-Nade comes through as well. And this looks like it's going to be a nice, solid defense for Project Ascension unless something big happens here. The Boop tried to come through from Agent Muffin, but nothing of avail found. The charge right onto Hedex when he's fortified, not going to find much value. It appears we have Andal going off on a solo event from the back right there. I'd be looking for a charge. Gets one on the map, but it might not be enough. As the Blizzard comes through from Matnot along with the Supercharger, and it's a cleanup. Krev is just going to try this point, but they just can't do it by themselves as a Tracer, and a full hold comes through.
Full hold, so now the best opportunity Juice Goblins have here is a draw, which, I mean, it isn't shameful, but it's just, Volskaya is one of those maps where you're going to see draws a little bit more often. The map symmetry allows itself for these bunker compositions to run rampant on defense and things of that nature, but all is not lost. You could still have that draw, or on the other side, you can just have one tick to victory. As long as the enemy isn't paying attention, you can just all sit on point, deal with the damage. As long as one of you's left there when it hits 33.3, you got that tick.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they position, actually, because they can't give up, 2 ticks on that high ground. They got to be on that point. Can't let any progress be made. Would that be running out on the Torbjorn? No, they're going to go for the Symmetra. But it would be interesting to see that, the double turret strat.
I mean, it's still double turret.
Yeah, I guess so. Or would it be like, quintuple turrets because she can throw out, 4. But we'll get to the math later, all right? Well,
that's a lot of math.
We'll let someone else figure that out. Mercy's on both sides.
Yeah, Mercy on both sides, as well as it just seems like we have the full-on mirror composition here. Now, the first time around, you were held to OT if you were the Project Ascension, so maybe not the most confident, but look at this way. OT is only 2 minutes 30 seconds this time. So if that's the key to winning, then there you go.
They got the clutch gene within them. They can't win unless it's overtime. Orisa Barrier comes out. Sage with the trying to get some armor, but doesn't quite get anything. A Hulk comes through from Andal. No value found. The Sim TP or Sim turrets kind of cause them some trouble for them to push in. However, Climb already down from Preview. They got to touch the point here soon. If they're just not gonna touch. That's I gotta say, you said they had some pocket strats, and maybe that's a pocket strat. Just not touch the point in overtime. We'll see if they change that one up in the coaching session, the VOD review. But
as we get a nice little Bastion play of the game, if this was 2016 Overwatch, this would be the bane of any player's existence. But here we are, where Bastion finally gets his time to shine.
Just
And
melts him with that supercharger. Nice plays coming through. Project Ascension, we want to remind you, Project Ascension is technically the underdog in this fight, and they're already up 2-0 going into the halftime, so we will see if Juice Goblinos makes any adjustments when we return from this break.
And a sneaky hammer down from Raven. A very risky.
Ozzy with the triple kill, the triple dynamite, and that coach gun.
Uncontested second point capture. Blue goes down. The shatter falls from Paragon. The Blizzard will follow it up. I don't think anyone's getting out alive over here. Yeah, I mean, they flying.
Nemesis needs to go see a chiropractor. The straw that broke the camel's back seems to be blue, just finally matching his DPS on the other side of the screen and flagging it.
Never reminded, never taken whatever you told me. I didn't know what I could be. Making a most plentiful answer. Tell me, is this what you made me?
Walk through that bunker comp, it really kind of prevents you from getting some picks here. Of course, Vivek's doing a lot of work here, taking down both Snee and Raccoon in the air, and then of course getting a flashbang kill onto Ozymandias as they just roll right through Dark Allegiance. So, of course, all of my analysis was completely wrong.
loud and proud as RGH takes down.
And welcome back from the halftime. We are back with Juice Goblins versus Project Ascension. Project Ascension up 2-0 after a stellar clutch performance on Volsky Industries. Now, we do have a substitution for this Juice Goblinos, taking out Clam and throwing in J-Dash. What do you think this they're trying to accomplish here? Looking at J-Dash's hero pool, could be something interesting.
I mean, potentially it could just be a kind of, we feel like this DPS player could be better for us. It could be a matter of hero pool. But at the end of the day, something has got to change up here. Juice Goblins, they're down 0-2. If the reverse sweep is going to happen, it's got to start here and now on Numbani. And I mean, Numbani is a map where you can kind of do a few different things. Point B and C lends itself to double barrier, but point A is where you can still get away with dive. You can get away with some sneaky attack Bastion yet again. There's a few different options.
It's a very strong defense of a Bastion position as well. Back in the right corner with the Baptiste. We will see what the team decide to run out on. Krev does seem to be very comfortable with that Bastion selection, but so is Previous. So see what both teams decide to run out with here. A lot of teams on Numbani 8 like to actually run a Pharah-based defense. Maybe we'll be seeing some Pharah come out.
One thing we can guarantee here on Numbani is we'll see Effie. So that's pretty neat. We got the poster of her on point A. This is where she built Orisa and all that fun backstory. But
could we please remove her from the lore and actually just remove Orisa from the game? Apologies,
I don't think Orisa's at that point. I don't think Orisa's at that point, but
not quite. We're getting there though.
You said it though. We got the Pharah-based defense here with an Ashe. Interestingly enough,
maybe they're expecting an attack Pharah on their end, but Dash might be on that Pharah, so both teams mirroring with the DPS with the Ashe Pharah combination. Not something you see every day. Maybe they'd be testing out in scrims and finding some advantages, some nice positioning. No Bastions on either side, but Project Ascension takes that same position as they would have a Bastion, because that Baptiste Immortality field around the corner is just simply too strong to not take advantage of. We got the Reinhardt. Oh. We got the Winston Roadhog tank line. Not something we see every day, but back on this Winston Ryan, they seem to be favoring some of their maps as Juice Goblinos.
And I mean, this Pharah, it's going to come down to the pharmacy duels and if the Ashe can have any say in that. But there is two barriers on the side of the defense here, so that could prove troublesome for Pharah as they try to rotate seemingly to the high ground here for the attackers.
J-Dash getting the Mercy over the point. The Cretan misses the Pharah in the sky. We do have Matnop putting down a lot more damage, already halfway to their ultimate ability, having to back up a little bit. Previe find the Mercy kill, taking down the Pharmacy by themselves. And it's going to be a quick reset for Juice Goblinos. Matnop taking down 2 in the back line. Almost at that barrage already in one fight.
Yes, indeed. Barrage does build quick, as with that kill on the Winston, the barrage is built. Meanwhile, J-Dash on the other side not getting the best of it, but that's okay. It's the first push, only a minute off the clock. You still got time. But you got to start wondering if the Winston's going to jump in. Unless far as raining damage specifically with it, there might not be a safe jump target for the Winston, where then you have to start questioning the value of the Winston versus, say, like maybe a D.Va who can peel out, maybe a Zarya who can provide bubbles for the team. And it looks like they're trying this low ground approach now.
Going from the low ground, Dime kind of had to heal up there for a bit. Jadis almost having that Moira, but Matnot waiting for them, taking down the Winston. Krev finds the kill, but not before Matnot kills them first. Jupiter resing Matnot. It's a 6v4, 6v3, and another quick fight. One ultimate ability used, and a clean team fight win. Oh, got the Ashe on the cleanup.
Ashe on the cleanup. Figured now that Bob is online, you could show off just a little bit more. Your other DPS got a 2k, you can flex. And now we're seeing the Reinhardt Roadhog. Interestingly enough, Roadhog got that minuscule little buff, gets that extra bullet in the clip, helps him break these shields just a little bit. And we also see Krev returning to that McCree. And I'm wondering where this is supposed to come. And now, even though Barrage was online, it looks like...
Oh, but a nice hook comes through from Andal. The Pharmacy's already down. I was too busy thinking about what J-Dash is doing in the spawn, but their team moving forward. Bob comes through on a point, well placed right on the cart. The hook comes through, Hedix falls off, but it's just not going to be enough from the looks of it. Investing that supercharger, Agent Muffin finding the kill. Supercharger already down, but it looks like Project Ascension is going to hold yet again. Resurrect comes through onto Hedix, and they're going to be at full strength here. And this defense looks solid.
Yes, indeed. And that fight, even though you got the 2 initial picks, as you said, J-Dash was still in the spawn room. So it was a 5v4 at the end of the day. Bob making it a 5v5. And as you hear the timer ring out, less than 60 seconds.
That's a really bad pick for Juice Goblinos. This is last fight already now. I have less time to regroup.
Pretty much, and it just seems to be... Ooh, wait! Ooh, that hook could have
Not
been
enough.
massive. Jeez. Yeah, we're kind of just in this weird mid-fight where we're just kind of seeing both teams posture. There seems like they're wanting to come up mid, and the fight should start now.
Could be dangerous because we do have Sage with that gravitic flux. Matt Knott fighting down Dime. Tank line gone for Juice Goblinos. That's 3 kills, and Fortify is used. That's going to be 4 kills already. And Donatron making that desperation swap onto the Wrecking Ball just to maybe touch here at the end. Krev on the Tracer. But this looks like it's going to be a 1-tick hold coming in from the side of Project Ascension. Accretion comes through on a Diamondron. Not even allowed to play the game, it looks like. The Hog trying to get that hook onto Matt Knott is just not going to be enough. Andal can't seem to land that on him. We do have the Ash falling. Preview is gone, falling to Krev. Jess pushing with that more ultimate ability, maybe trying to get another tick or two. Both teams trading equal blows here. Accretion lands onto Andal, but not going to be enough to kill them. Krev finds killing the Mad, and this looks like this might be a clutch maneuver coming out here. If this hook lands, it does, and then take down Jupiton. A late Bob comes through, trying to contest, but it gets pulse bombed. Bob does find Ancient Muffin, and both teams still just trying to fight out. The Sigmal comes through, doesn't find anything though. And final falls to Krev. The Bob is gone. Can't contest anymore. Matt now returning on the far. Has a barrage! Invests it, but falls to the Tracer. It was too close to the ground. And it's going to be Juice Goblinos at the last second taking this point.
I mean, that was just the staggers to end all staggers, as Krev finally punished for hubris, and vice versa. Mad able to get a pick there as well. But it really did come down to the Tracer play there in the end, not only keeping the point contested alive long enough for the team to get back, but then on top of that, the huge pickoff, starting with Privy on the Ash and just going down from there. And so, maybe not the most time you want, but you're pushing into point B now, and there's just going to be a regroup from the defense.
They're staying on this Reinhardt Roadhog tank line. Maybe they finally found the value they're looking for. Might want to stick with it. We'll see how they decide to push forward. Andal does find the kill on the far, just like I said, looking for that value. It seems to be working out now. Andal finally turned their monitor on and can hit these hooks on the far. A nice hook again on the Mad! Andal has come alive here at the end of point A and point B. Using the whole hog, catches Sage in the corner, and it's just enough to kill them, and they're going to be pushing through here. Mad now stops on that doofus.
I need a record of how many times the far has been hooked thus far. Like, this is something Roadhogs don't get to do very often. So you're seeing Andal just absolutely open up these fights, and now you see a Roadhog is what has forced Pharmacy to stop here. But Andal might pay for it with his life, yep.
And the nice freeze coming through from Matt Knott. Reaper is able to push into it. Reinhardt does get walled off from the team, and Diamondtron stuck on the point, kind of by himself, just holding M2, trying to stay alive. The symbol comes through from J-Dash, and the beat they're saying now is the time to press W and Q. They're pushing in, and they force Project Ascension to back off a little bit, but don't find any kills with either of those ultimate abilities. But Sage has that gravitic flux. Might want that beat back for this one. Krev just dealing some damage in the back line. Here comes that ultimate. The gravitic flux comes through and gets a kill on J-Dash, and I think Project Ascension here is finally going to stabilize off those 2 kills. My mind spoke too soon. Jazz finds Jupiton, but I think Defender's Advantage is going to come through here, and yes, Project Ascension will finally stabilize on the defense.
So now we have to start looking at the defense. They use Flow, but Krev is just getting notorious little pickoffs on this Tracer. It's one of the advantages to running Tracer, even though there's 2 barriers that can stop that damage. If you can get in the back line, little pickoffs like that can change the entire dynamic of games. And like I was saying, we're now looking at the ultimate game. We have pretty much everything online outside of that flux as the fight gets reinitiated.
And J-Dash here trying to swap over onto that Pharah preview with a nice early pick onto that Tracer. More ultimate invested from Mad. The Blizzard comes through, gets freezes the Roadhog. Mad's find J-Dash. And Project Ascension off the back of that Blizzard and Coalescence might again win a fight. Yep, Dime is kind of stuck here just spinning around trying to stay alive, but it's just not going to be enough. They're still alive in the backline. They're going to kill his Reinhardt?
I mean,
there
it was
you
one of
go.
those things. I think it was one of those things where they realized the old man with the hammer wasn't a threat to anybody, so they could stagger him out just a bit more. And now we're once again below the 60-second mark.
And Dime will have that Shatter moving in here. J-Dash dropping over onto the Junkrat. It was an interesting swap to see them go to that far without the Mercy at the Moira Lucy Hills. Not where you can stay alive very long. A lot of ultimates coming through for the side of Project Ascension. They got 3 of them, but 2 on the side of Juice Goblinos as they push around the first corner of C. Dime kind of posturing. The Shatter goes through, hits 3, but it's just not going to be enough. As Sarisa was still up with that Fortify, able to use the Supercharger, and they clean up with the ultimate ability of the Headaches. And there's going to be some last second desperation touches here, but I think this is going to be about as far as it goes for the side of Juice Goblinos. But I think you got to be very happy with that considering your point A attack.
Yeah, definitely. There might still be a touch, unless the Blizzard... Yeah, the Blizzard might zone people. Oh, never mind. Krev once again being the hero to touch. With the Flux trying to force him out.
But it's just not going to be enough here as Andal is forced in the air with the Gravik Flux. Preview finds Jadis. And Andal tries their best with the whole hog, but not exactly the most fight turn ultimate you have in the game. Just last second touches coming in here for Juice Goblinos, but it looks like with the Coalescence it's finally going to be enough. But the beat invested for Agent Muffin keeps their teammates alive, but Mad using the Kamehameha takes down 2 on the cart. And that's going to be as far as it goes. But I think with your point A attack, you're going to be very happy with that.
Yes, indeed. And as long as you can hold point A, you're definitely looking at a winnable map. Now, if you let go of point A, point B isn't the easiest to hold here, and you didn't get it too far into C, that's where you have to start to worry. But you still have the entirety of point A, which is a very defensible point. And we've already seen you're competent on those Bastion compositions, so you could try for that bunker. Or if you have something up your sleeve, now's the time to show it, because, like I said, Juice Goblinos, this is the map you have to win to start that reverse sweep. Otherwise, it is going the way of Project Ascension.
And the thing is, if you put up any defense on the point B, you're in better shape than Project Ascension was on their defense. But we will see what teams decide to run out on. Again, as you said, would not be surprised if they run this Bastion composition. They seem very confident in it on their defense. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do with Krev on that Bastion, J-Dash on the May, rather than Clam. We should see if they run out on this Sombra with Matnot, the way to break the bunker with the EMP. A lot of teams are using Sombra more nowadays because of her new translocator buffs. So we will see if they decide to stick with this.
Yes, indeed. Plus, Sombra provides you that utility. The EMP, once it's built, obviously, takes a little bit longer to build nowadays. But once it's built, it's a guaranteed fight win unless there's a sneaky support that can hide from it with an ultimate ready. But on the defense, there's no real support that'll help the team with an EMP. So,
but it does look like they swapped over onto the Pharah. So
yes, indeed.
Our hopes and dreams are dashed already. Oh, but maybe Preview's gonna take it off when go Sombra for us. Matt not on the Pharah.
Swaps in this game have already been impeccable, I must say.
Very interesting, just hide in the corner strat with double barrier and Maywall. I don't know how the Bastion can possibly see through all those bodies and shoot the enemies, but maybe just hold M1 down main and hopefully get some nice, a little bit of damage in. Really trying to figure out how to break this conversation. Matt now already halfway to a barrage. Headache's a double slam kill. I guess it's kind of what you get for hiding in the corner all grouped up like that. Matt not cleaning it up with 4 kills of their own. And a little bit faster point A take for Project Ascension.
I mean, that was the peak of dive right there. That was coordinated as you can get. The hack came down, I believe, onto the Sigma. I'm not exactly sure, but somebody got hacked. Immediately the slam came in. The Rockets, you saw the damage Matt did just in his ult percentage alone, already 91 to it. Make that build with a pick on Agent Muffin as well.
You might just lose your first corner on B here if you are Juice Goblinos because of that pick. No more res. That Reinhardt hacked. Comes through the barrage with the Immortality Field from Jadis. Keeps their team alive. Krev finding Matnot. Immortality Field is down, but the Resurrect might come through. Yes, Matnot is back in the sky. The hack comes through on the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt is just being hacked. Can't hold up M2. Matnot killing the Jadis, and it does look like Project Ascension is going to push through her off of those nice hacks from Privy. Only about 70% of or about 60% of the way to the EMP, but I think you are going to take it if you're winning this fight this handedly.
Well, exactly. Like, while the Sombra may not be outputting the most damage and building that ult, just the single hacks is all that's really needed, so you don't necessarily need the EMP yet. As we're going to see switch after switch, Krev onto the McCree, possibly just try to counter the Sombra and the Pharmacy at the same time, so good luck countering a 3v1 essentially, as long as there's coordination.
And J-Dash onto the Symmetra now. Another swap coming through. We'll see Matnot just pelting in the damage behind this Reinhardt barrier. Not really contested at all in the sky. However, Krev finds Preview. The EMP is gone. And we have Krev finding the Pharah as well. Krev popping off on their team at the end of B here. Trying to keep it from being capped. They can't leave this point, though, of 0.6 meters. Krev with 3 kills during that fight by themselves. Looks like they're finally going to stabilize.
Yes, indeed, and Krev just pops out, then finishes out pretty much the whole team right there, so pays for his life.
A little bit of revenge from Matt not being there.
Actually, unless they're sending Lucio back to go taxi that little McCree. No, wait, never mind, they have a teleporter. I lied. There's no stagger kills. The McCree will get back in time for this defense.
However, EMP Barrage is available.
It's going to be devastating. There's gonna have to be a hide, but oh, let's.
And pretty quick. It appears they just wanted to press Q. They just invested the Coalescence in EMP.
Not even Barrage.
They still got Barrage.
The B was actually used previously, I'm pretty sure, or there was a switch because I don't believe it was online. It was the one old not online. So now that little yellow blocks of victory was far away, but all of a sudden it's feeling really close if you're the defenders.
Supercharger in. Sage held on their Gravitic Flux. Could be huge. Ever got shattered. The high noon from Krev. Finds 2. That could be just what they need. Krev again putting the team on their back right now. With another kill on the Hedix. And they are going to hold him right here. Now this is a place you see a lot of teams actually get held on their attack on Unbonded. Right in this first corner of C. Just the run back for the attackers is so long that any kill is devastating.
Yes, indeed. But now you're seeing the switch for the side of Project Ascension to the standard meta. You have the Reaper, you have the Mei in play. That McCree is going to continue to find value probably on the Reaper, zone out the rest of the team, but the Mei walls could be huge in finding a key pickoff to end this game.
Creation comes through from Sage, not finding anything with that. A boop comes through from Asia Muffin, isolating 2 targets. Preview in the backline, kind of by themselves, just taking on the Symmetra 1v1. Forced to Wraith out, however, the team of Juice Goblinos goes all the way around to find him in the back. Even trade, 1-for-1. Reinhardt gone, Diamondtron down. Adel, using the Primal Rage, gets the kill onto Matnot. Nice juggling there. Again, both these teams just trading, but each trade here favors the defenders because of the run back for the attackers. But they're not giving up yet. Privy moves in with the Reaper Wraith form. Sage finds the kill in the Krev. This might be it, actually. The Shatter comes through, but the barrier is there from Sage. Keeps the team up Sage. Jupiter investing that beat there. And it looks like this is finally going to be the fight that Project Ascension was looking for. Sage, using the Gravitic Flux, might just grab Gravitic Flux the cart here. Finds 2. Krev gets another 2, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Moving in here, we do have the TP out from the spawn for Juice Goblinos, but it's just not going to be enough from the looks of it. The Mei, can they freeze this Wrecking Ball before it's too late? Winston jumps in, the Primal Rage gets frozen up instantly. From the looks of it, we have Lucio back as well. Prevy pressing Q, finds killing Asia Muffin. Hedix kills Jadis. And this might finally be it as they move towards the final meter. Mad, using the Coalescence, finds killing with J-Dash. Just last second staggers, but it looks like it's finally going to be Project Ascension going up 3-0, winning the series on Nambani.
Yes, indeed. That puts both these teams at 7-2. We still have one more map to play, of course, because map differential does matter in terms of the things. But, I mean, the Moira play, at the end of the day, the Coalescence initiating fights really helped out.
This is the EMP Coalescence team fight win at the end of B. And again, holding on to all his ultimates at the end of B there was huge. But even though it really didn't amount to anything because they had to swap off and come back for a couple fights, but well staggered out from Project Ascension. I think that's mostly how they won this match today, was their use of their ultimate abilities, able to stagger them out and never really overcommit into one fight, knowing when to back off, and I think just overall well team play.
Yes, indeed. But so we are going to our fourth map here, which we do have some lovely options for you. We have Havana as well as Rialto, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure I am right. And either of these maps, this is the time to experiment, really, if you're in either team. Because series is over either way, unless you're really fighting for map differential, but these guys are already at the top of the standings, so maybe they need it, maybe they don't. But this is where you can kind of test stuff out, especially if you're Juice Goblins. Clearly, nothing's worked so far, so throw stuff at a wall, see what sticks. Possibly if you have something you've tried out in scrims, not too sure about, now's the time for it.
Interesting to see what they run out. Can we go Goats? If only we could go Goats there, Andal.
I would take Goats over
Goblinos.
Double Barrier. I'm dead honest.
You're talking to a Reinhardt main, so of course I'd love Ghost to return, but
would I want it back full time? No, but if I had to choose between Double Barrier and Goats, 100%, Goats at least you could have fun playing.
There's an option to shoot things in Goats, even though it's not many shooting, but you can deal damage. You know, that's a fun ability in an FPS game. Now, as we got some substitutions.
The S in FPS clearly stands for shields.
So we do have Pitpat subbing in here for Matnot, getting a little bit of play time in the albeit garbage time map here of Rialto. Already up 3-0, winning the series, but maybe just going to invest or do a little bit of experimenting, like you said, with Pitpat in the lineup.
Yes, indeed. We also have a Soft Sheep subbing in on the healer's role for that team. So, you know, this Ascension's time to flex their bench, get them some play time in a real match, figure it all out. And on the other side, no swaps, no substitutions of any kind. They're just going to stick with it. We're here on Rialto. Let's see what happens.
Be interesting to see what tank Dimedron runs out here. Been playing the Winston, the Reinhardt, the Risa. Just kind of been playing everything here today.
I mean, I'm 100% down for Roadhog Zarya at this point. Let's roll with it.
I mean, you already whipped out the Roadhog Reinhardt. Might as well try something else cool here, like maybe a Wrecking Ball Diva. You never know.
I've always been a fan of Wrecking Ball Sigma. Interestingly enough, though.
You're a big what my friends call the Sigma Balls comp, right? You're a big fan of that.
I mean, you know, I'm more of rock and roll, but
that's a good one.
Sigma Balls also works too. This definitely, yes, indeed. You have the funny haha.
A lot of ha-has in the chat, please. But as we move in here, the defense. We have Pitpat on that far, subbing out Matnot, but it looks like they're just going to do around the same thing with the Bastion up on that high ground. A Soft Sheep on the Mercy. We'll see if they run out on this Bastion Torbjörn. Be interesting to see if they can hold that point. Just sit on the cart with their barriers. They're running the Orisa Reinhardt.
Double barrier.
They're just running out here. They are.
And now we have a Pharaoh with no mercy.
And that's what happens when you don't have a Mercy as a Pharah. As we move in here, Preview just putting down the damage on that cart. Preview taking down 2 already. Dime just trying to touch the cart a little bit. Andal falls off the map. A little bit of a reset. But pretty solid fight. Not
And here we have switches going once again. We have Reinhardt Sigma now in play. Make that regular Double Barrier, Orisa Sigma. We still have this Ana in play for Jadis. I'm not sure, possibly if they're intending to anti a Bastion. I don't know how you're going to do that through 2 shields, but it's possible.
Either anti the Bastion or maybe put some pressure on the Pharah as a play. See what they actually use here. Going by a bit of a flank route. Trying to take down this bunker position on the high ground. They drop down, rotate on the cart. That's not what you wanted for the side of Juice Goblinos, because now you got pushed into your own cart. The backfield comes down from Agent Muffin, putting down the damage, but the cart's gone so far back they can't see around the corner to shoot them on it. They move in here. We got a barrage invested. However, the Immortality field from Agent Muffin keeps the team up. Dime falling. And it does this attack isn't quite over yet, as they do have the spawn advantage coming in.
I feel like we've just seen a rotation.
PV taking down Krev. PV taking down Jadis. Prevy actually taking over this map. Finding Andal at the end. And a very interesting rotation from the side of Juice Goblinos going all the way around, allowing the cart to be taken.
We had the defenders on the cart, and we had the attackers set up in alleyway. It was with the late reset, interestingly, Day-Dash. Now we have Agent Muffing switching over to Lucio, possibly just try to speed boost and mobilize his comp just a bit more.
Now we have the Sigma Winston. Oh, I thought we're going with just old-fashioned dive here. This looks like dive in 2019, ladies and gentlemen. Eat your heart out, and that's probably why it's not run very much. Preview gets the kill, and yeah, it's gonna fall apart pretty quick. We do have the Tracer emoting in the back. Look at Krev just dancing behind the enemy team right now. They don't notice him there. Either they do or just ignoring him. Oh, they found him.
There's the recall.
Forced to recall out.
You know, when in doubt, dance it out.
When in doubt, Charleston it out. But it didn't seem to really work all that well. Maybe they got something else up their sleeve. And the dive not looking too hot right now. They do have the nano boost, possibly a nano boost to Winston as they jump in. Yep, there they go. Nano boost to Winston jumps in, and he gets instantly melted by the supercharger coming out of Hedix. And this has kind of turned into, I would say, for lack of a better term, a clown fiesta on Rialto here at the end.
I mean, I would like to say clown fiesta as well, but I feel like clown fiesta implies all 12 players in the lobby are clowning around, and unfortunately I think we have, I mean, I wouldn't say that the attackers are clowning or anything like that. It's just a matter of they're slamming their heads into a wall over and over, hoping it'll work, and maybe it will one of these times.
They are experimenting, as you said. J-Dash with the reflect onto, oh, but Preve takes them down once the reflex is gone. The ultimate ability of Pit Pat invested the barrage, and from the looks of it, the Wrecking Ball is going to get halted off the map, and the cart has gone 32 meters. See if they can get a last-second touch here with Andal. Oh, but the Sigma ult coming through from the stage is going to prevent them from touching at all, and it's 32.98 meters. You gotta get to Krev, try to get the hammer kill onto the Mercy at the end of the map there, but time ran out, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed. And now we are about to see the defense of legends, quite potentially.
They are going to hold them to 32.97 meters and
yes,
take home the map win on Rialto. It'll be interesting to see what comp they come out on, because I believe they ran, if I counted correctly, somewhere around 300 different comps in that attack.
I mean, throughout this match, definitely. I feel like at this point, just go for comfort heroes. We've seen Krev pop off on the McCree. Andal knows how to pop off on this Roadhog. Kind of just go with your comfort. At this point, you really have nothing to lose. Just go with it. Whereas here on the attack, if you want to win it, you might have to double barrier it out. You might just want to stick with what you know, play it serious, play it hard, play it fast.
I would not be against seeing this Ryan Zarya come out, though, if they decide to stick with this.
In the slightest. I feel like Ryan Zarya, nobody's really against. Like, I feel like everybody's like, you know what, sure, Ryan Zarya, but immediately we see a Roadhog, which Roadhog, you kind of look like Zarya if you look from a really far distance, but you're just not.
A little bit more buff, muscle mass on the side of Zarya rather than the fat on the side of Roadhog. But yeah, sure, if you're about far enough away, about maybe 500 miles, they look just about the same.
If he's in Australia and you're in America, chances are he looks like Zarya.
Chances are he looks like a lot of things. But as we see the Orisa Reinhardt for the side of Juice Goblinos, the Ryan Zarya comes out. And we have an interesting flank here. Oh, Hedix is going to take the Reinhardt off the map. Krev decided to take a swim in the old waters of Rialto, and I think that's about going to be it. Agent Muffin finds a Pit Pat. That's pretty good. Boost the stats up a little bit. Help that MMR out. He's just trying to hop around. The little frog is trying to touch the point. The little frog that could. He's just going to leave. And a very interesting Rialto there at the end. I would say so.
Interesting. I think that's a pretty decent way to put it. But that does give the Project Ascension here the 4-0 Gives them that nice little padding they may have needed.
A very nice map
And-
differential win for the side of Project Ascension. They were, I believe, 5th in their rankings of their division, but this 4-0, bringing them up to 7-2, is definitely going to help them in the standings as we make the push towards the playoffs at the end of the Rose Cup. Now, if I had to give a player of the match, I would probably have to either go with Prevy or Hedix. I don't know about you.
I mean, I was actually thinking Headaches myself, but what is your reason for Preview since we're here?
Well, Prevy has just had a very solid performance all around in whatever they decide to play, whether it be the Bastion or the Reaper. They always seem to be in the kill feed, putting a lot of damage at the backline, being a nice distraction. But I think if we're both in agreement of Headaches, very solid halts. That one halt on Volskaya off the map, the Bastion, that could basically destroy that entire push on A. Just all around solid play, well use of their ultimate abilities. Lijiang Tower had some massive shatters, getting the better of their counterparts. So I would say Hedix gets our player of the match for Juice Goblinos versus Project Ascension.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I do believe that is it for us tonight here.
That is going to be it for us tonight here. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your Friday and a unbelievable start to your weekend tomorrow on a Saturday. Get out and do something. Have some fun. This has been Booney. Alongside me has been Megalad. This has been Juice Goblins for Project Ascension for the Rose Cup. And we thank you all for tuning in. See you next time.